Cardinals open up the final home series of 2025 with a win over the Milwaukee Brewers, 7-1. A fun night down at Busch Stadium in the final Friday night game of the season. Joe Roderick, Hunter Mulholland here with you on STL Sports Central to break it all down. And all content is brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours. And here on a Friday night, Hunter, before a very, very busy Saturday in the world of sports and especially here on STL Sports Central, it was a fun game to watch, a fun game to listen to, and I'm sure for anybody that might be leaving the ballpark and watching this right now on their phone, it seemed like a fun atmosphere to be at on a Friday night.
Looked like an entertaining game from all aspects, and obviously the Cardinals are struggling down the stretch, and like I'm trying to find the right words for it. They struggle on a stretch, and you sit there, and like I was sat there a couple of times during the game, especially that fifth inning, where I'm like, where has this been all year? Like you bat around against the division leaders. Like, I mean, that should be good news for 2026, right? Like that there's still some fight.
But I guess they hit. I was looking to. I was digging and digging and digging. I texted somebody down with the Cardinals, and they didn't have an answer. Like I was trying to figure out the last time the Cardinals batted around in an inning, and maybe it's a game like there've been games that yes, I did not watch and follow all 9 innings because I didn't have to be on post game or 365 for a day or two, and I took a break from what we're watching on the field. So maybe there's one I missed, and maybe somebody in the chat can help out with that. But for the life of me, I cannot remember a time recently, in the last month or two that they've batted around in an inning.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever. I mean, that's something you want from an offense. And maybe it happened at the beginning of the season where the offense felt like nothing could stop them. So maybe
I'd hope this wasn't the first time they did it all year.
I really hope not. But I mean, I correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we get our first Grand Slam like not too long ago? It felt like
I don't remember if that's happened. Yeah, the last time I remember seeing a stat on it, they hadn't had a Grand Slam yet this year. So,
like, I mean, it's the offense. It was like at the beginning of the year, they all started off and were world on fire. They looked like they could beat anybody, compete with anybody. And then they went ice cold, and it's like now everybody's kind of forgotten. What did that happen at the beginning of the year? I don't remember because it feels like that we've been watching the same game from the offense over the last 2 months. There hasn't been this explosion, and it was good to see that fifth inning, especially being able to knock pitchers out in games. In an inning and be like, you pitch 3 batters and you're done because you can't get it done. So we got to go to the next guy. And that's something that good teams do. Good teams beat guys and, knock away somebody in a short time frame and are able to exhaust a bullpen. And that's how you win series in Major League Baseball, because by the time Sunday rolls around, that third game of the series, the bullpen's tired. The bullpen's always tired by the third game of the series. And so when you get something like that, it's really good. Obviously, I wish it happened when the Cardinals weren't 75 and 79, but at least there's some like excitement there with the offense and the team versus going out to the ballpark and it feels like the atmosphere is completely gone. It looked like the crowd was into it and having a good time, especially then that fifth with that Arenado double.
Hunter, I'm looking here. I'm on statmuse.com right now. I do not see any Grand Slams for the Cardinals this year.
Okay, so they don't even have one. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. At last check, I thought it was the Cardinals and one other. Oh, it was the Cardinals and Royals. The Cardinals and Royals. There are just the state of Missouri has just been anti Grand Slams.
Well, it doesn't help when you play in Kauffman that feels like every ball has to be hit a country mile to be out.
There you go. Jeremy Hodge saying they haven't hit a Grand Slam since last year by Nolan Arenado. And bringing up Nolan Arenado is a perfect time to talk to you about the money moment of the game. Brought to you by Home Bank. The post-game show brought to you by our business banking partners, Home Bank. From business lending to everyday banking, Home Bank has been with us since day one as a trusted partner. Business isn't just about numbers, it's about relationships. And with Home Bank, those relationships make all the difference. Home Bank is the team behind our team at STL Sports Central. Visit myhomebank.bank or call 855-577-2001. That's Home Bank, member FDIC. More than a bank, they are your business partner. And Hunter, I got to go with Nolan Arenado in that fifth inning. In that inning, they batted around, clearing the bases with the double, bases loaded double. Not a grand slam, only got 3 runs on it, but still, nonetheless, he drives in 3, and the line kept on moving after that to get 10-11 batters up that inning.
Yeah, I mean that's something that it's nice to see. That's vintage Arenado. That it feels like it's been lost all season. And the last 2 seasons really has been that clutch moment, clutch hit. So it's really good to see Arenado, and I mean that's the only pick that I think there could have been for the money moment of the game. Because the bases clearing double keeps the line moving, kind of puts the Brewers in a hole where maybe they feel like they don't have it this game, and so that kind of puts them in a spot where they're done, and I think that's the perfect spot for them.
Ace in here saying 4 years ago they batted around. They have batted around at least in the last 2 years. Don't give me 4 years ago. Yeah, don't give me 4 years ago. I'm certain that the team has sent. By the way, batting around, does that mean you sent 10 guys up to the plate or just the full 9?
In my eyes, I've always felt it's the full 9 that everybody hits.
So you batted around if you do if
you go 1 through 9.
If the 9th hitter in the inning makes an out, did you bat around? This feels like it does a straw have 1 hole or 2 holes type of conversation right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think that if you get 9 guys to the plate, that's batting around. But if he's the last guy to be out, because the lineup didn't flip over until the next inning.
Yeah. That's a good poll question to put up there. I might throw that up there in the I might put that up on Twitter, and I need to put it up there in the YouTube chat for that. Because if you bat around, because they did bat around though. They batted around. They did. Yeah. I think to bat around, I think you have to have 1 guy that bats twice in an inning.
So if
I think that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Because if you just batted the lineup, hey, everybody hit this inning. Everybody batted around.
Yeah.
If you bat around, I think that's when you have to if you're doing a book, you have to cross out the inning, and you have to fill out the next inning.
Yeah. You have to flip the lineup. You have to send 10 guys. I think that's right. Yeah, that feels right.
So there. Let's see. Whatever he's looking at.
Washington.
Yeah. That they bat around twice. Somebody in chat sets a 10-run inning in 2023 against the Brewers. For that, it just seems like it's been that long of a time since then.
I was going to say, then maybe if it was 4 years ago against Washington, then it would have been, if you're including the playoffs, I think it would have been the 10-run inning against Atlanta in the playoffs that year.
Well, if you had them batting around that inning, I didn't look at what the over/under was for tonight's game, but I'm going to guess that the the over/under was 7.5. So the Cardinals did their part to get to 7, and Sonny Gray, allowing 1 run, got them to the half. And if you had the over on DraftKings, if you're on the Illinois side, you're happy today. But if you are on the Missouri side, it is coming on December 1st. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when they launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when they go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action. The bonus bets, the parlays that they offer, all of that you could get in on. And when you was sitting down watching a just day of football, like I will be tomorrow and on Sunday, it is so much fun to sit there and just help with the entertainment on DraftKings. And now, if you download DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code STL Sports, that's code STL Sports, you grab $300 in bonus bets with just $5 bet when we go live on December 1st. That's code STL Sports in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Joe Roderick, Hunter Mulholland here with you. Haven't really mentioned Sonny Gray yet in the game today. 6 innings, strong innings for Sonny Gray, only allowing 1 run. At this point, is it more frustrating when he puts out a good outing like this?
Yes, but because the rest of the rotation doesn't help him.
I mean, but when he goes out, like, he needs to be that guy that goes out there and gives you this consistently.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, it's really difficult because every single time that he pitches, he has to pitch like this because the the bottom 3 of the rotation for majority of the year had a like sub 10 wins when the team was playing. So, I mean, it's frustrating for sure. I love seeing Sonny Gray pitch like this, and I hope that this bodes well leading into next season because I think he's still going to stick. I think he's still going to be around, but it is frustrating. But I find it more frustrating because, dang, if we just had some depth and we got this from Sonny every 2 starts or something like that, or 2 out of 3 starts,
I
dang.
feel like an ace needs to be more than 2 out of. I mean, if you're an ace,
It's every night. It's every single time.
I need. I mean, 5 out of 6 start. Like, I need you, you know, giving me a full month of solid starts like this. Like, that's
But is Sonny Gray
yeah.
an ace? Is Sonny Gray? I mean,
He's paid
he's
to
supposed
be.
to be. He's supposed to be. But is Sonny Gray? If you looked at him right now and you said, and you put him on any other, if you put him on a playoff team, he's probably the 2, right?
Randy Carricker and I did this yesterday on his show. We kind of went through that and looked at all of the teams that are going to probably be in the playoffs and see where Sonny Gray would fall in to the mix on a lot of those. And I think like there weren't a whole lot of options in the National League. The American League, you started to get into that with maybe he'd be the number 2 on the Tigers, maybe the 3. Maybe he'd be the number 3 on the Yankees, but maybe the 4. Like, if you were going in a 5-game series or the wild card series, there are a lot of playoff teams. You're talking, what, 12 playoff teams now? Oof. There's maybe 2 or 3 that he'd be starting if he had numbers like this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, is like, and this was something I thought about like earlier in the year was like, if the Cardinals stay in the playoffs and they're the wild card, like Sonny Gray's obviously starting the game 1 for them because that's their guy. But like, for example, a guy like Miles Michaelis is probably your 4 and probably doesn't even make the wild card roster
Oof.
because of that. I don't think he makes
That's a
wild. If
that's a
he made
fun
it,
that's a fun discussion to have, but I think it's so much deeper than that though. Like,
oh,
if we were playing the what if games, like Mason Wynn's still playing every day if this is a playoff team this year.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know about Wilson Contreras with here knowing what we know about his injury now. I don't know what happens with that, but I mean I partly like yes, Sonny Gray was brought in here to be that ace, but Matthew Libator and Michael McGreevy are better have put up better seasons. I feel more consistent seasons than Sonny Gray has this year.
McGreevy would be at the beginning of the year. McGreevy wasn't even on the team, and I said, I think I was talking with Schaefer about this. Um, I said that I think that McGreevy would be the 3 in the wild card series if the Cardinals were to make it. I think it would be Liberator, McGreevy, and Gray. And McGreevy hadn't even been a full time pitcher for the Cardinals yet.
Right.
And that's just because I didn't think that Eric Fetty was going to last.
Right. Yeah. Good call. Good call on that one. Yeah. Hey.
It doesn't take a psychic to do that, but
So yeah, the money moment of the game is the Arenado bases clearing double. Other fun little notes from tonight's game. Jordan Walker, his base hit in the fifth inning, the hardest hit ball by a Cardinal in the Statcast era. They showed highlights of it. They kind of went through and showed you from a different angle on the TV broadcast. It's fun to see a baseball hit just that damn hard.
can he hit it more? Can he hit it that hard consistently, please? Like, I really want Jordan Walker to be good. I really do. I was really, really high on him when he was a prospect. I think a lot of people were. Um, he has been frustrating. He obviously has, but then you get that, and he hits the ball an insane number. Like at the beginning of the year, he was up there with Stanton for hardest hit ball in the league for the first month or something like that.
He was. I think it was the very first game. I think it was opening day, the ball that he hit. And you're sitting there, you're licking your chops, and you're like, man, this is going to be great breakout season for him. Nope.
Yep. It's just frustrating. But I mean, Lance Lynn said that and compared him to Joe Adell. And if you look at the timeline, I think, was it this year or next year, or not this year, but next year or the following, that was in line with Joe Adell's breakout. And I mean, as young as Jordan Walker is, it's hard to give up on a guy that young in baseball. It really is, because if you give up and he goes out somewhere and turns out a 10-year career with somebody else because he plays well, it's frustrating to watch.
I had to stop real quick. I was going to the standings before we continued on, and I saw a headline that said that the Mariners hit 4 home runs tonight in their win over the Astros, and I got really worried for a second because earlier today on 365 I had mentioned possibly betting on Cal Raleigh to hit 2 home runs in the game, and it was plus 2,900. And I was gonna be so mad if he was 2 of those 4 home runs. He was not. He went 0 for 2 with 2 walks in the game today. So, all right.
I will say, I know they've been out of the division for a long time. I still like watching the Astros lose.
Watching who?
The Astros lose.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, they've been out of the division for a while, but
yeah.
I hated we hated them before it was cool.
Yeah. Hey, quickly, the Brewers, their magic number still remains at 4 to win the division in any capacity. Their magic number is 6 to win to get the number 1 overall seed. So it's nice that I guess with one more win in this series, we will not see the Cardinal or the Brewers get a chance to celebrate or clinch that here at Busch Stadium. So just something to kind of watch and pay attention to in the series this week. We are going to wrap up our show today. We will have postgame for Cardinals, postgame for Illini, postgame for Mizzou, postgame for City tomorrow. A very, very busy day here on STL Sports Central, loaded with post-game shows and all kinds of instant reaction and analysis from a very busy and big weekend in college football, both for Mizzou taking on South Carolina and Illinois heading to Indiana. So for fans out there of either state, either team, we will have you covered here on STL Sports Central. He is Hunter Mulholland. I am Joe Roderick. As we wrap up tonight's show here on STL Sports Central, brought to you by DraftKings, the crown is yours.